I knew immediately that this was it. The mission behind what we do, giving back, keeping items from the landfill, and being that connector in the community when people don't know what to do with their stuff.
Welcome to Built4Profit Podcast, where entrepreneurs share real stories and strategies that actually work. We're here to inspire, challenge, and give you the playbook to profit with purpose. Let's get into it. Let's do it.
We're heading into our conversation today, and things might get a little trashy.
A little trash talk never hurt no one.
I was doing research prior to starting this, and many of the stats were not shocking me. I know we live in the US. We make a lot of trash, but I learned that in the US, we consume and we create our body weight in trash, not once a year, not every 6 months, every 37 days.
Wow.
Our body weight in trash. Now, most stats, again, were disturbing, but they weren't that surprising. This one was disturbing and surprising.
I need another motivation to lose weight.
Correct.
Oh, geez. There should be a warning disclosure. Everybody's going to be in therapy over this.
Hit it from two angles. So what I love about our guest speaker today is that we are going to be learning about more environmental ways to handle our trash.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming probably some things maybe that we can do differently, because we have Junk Luggers with us today. And you know I love that name because I've been talking about it all week. So we have Lucy Mejia with us. And Lucy, I just want to say welcome to the Built4Profit podcast. We're so grateful to have you.
Oh,
Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much, Shay and Elizabeth. I appreciate you having me on. I'm excited to talk with y'all today.
So let's start out. Junk Luggers, tell us about what it is. We know that you're not picking up the trash for us on Fridays with the normal weekly schedule. So tell us about what Junk Luggers does.
Right. So yeah, we're an eco-friendly, community-oriented junk removal service. So our mission is to keep reusable items from ending up in the landfill. We work with a multitude of different donation partners who take different kinds of items, and also have different recyclers for different types of materials to keep that in the circular economy so that we can reuse, repurpose, and make sure that the items get a new home and a new life.
So how does someone know if they can use Junk Luggers or not?
I think everyone has junk, and one person's junk is another person's treasure.
But like you're saying recycle or reusable. And so how do I know what falls into that category? The couch I don't want anymore. I tried to take actually a chair to Goodwill the other day, and it told me it didn't
Make the
You
cut.
know,
Another man's.
apparently use no one's treasure. Okay.
We do take trash too, all kinds of debris, construction debris, yard debris, and that couch that maybe your dog or cat clawed up or chewed up, right? We're your one-stop shop for anything that you're looking to get rid of, to declutter, to get a home ready, to if you're relocating and don't want to take all that extra stuff with you. Really, we can take just about anything. The only things we don't take are hazardous materials and chemicals, but there are services that the county puts on that you can get rid of those chemicals and items in a responsible and safe way.
So nice. So it doesn't necessarily have to be trash. It could be something you want to donate or do something that needs to be hauled off.
Right. And not everyone's the
Okay.
time or capability to be able to lift and haul those things away. So that's where we come in, and our crews do all the heavy lifting for you and take it away right then and there.
And is it always for multiple items? Like I could definitely see I'm moving, I'm clearing out a house, I've got lots of stuff. And then you decide, Lucy, what can be donated and what needs to be trash, or how much work do I need to do on my end?
Yeah, so you just let me know what you want us to take, and then we give you a free no obligation estimate. We take it away, we bring it back to our warehouse, and we sort it out. We know what our donation partners are looking for. We know what can be recycled. So really super easy, hassle-free for you to be able to call us, come in, pick it up, and then we distribute it out, as well as give you the donation receipt when we're able to donate.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that's nice.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
what if someone was just getting rid of their fridge or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that qualified?
Absolutely. So we can do anything from a full house clean out or commercial clean out to a one item pickup.
Okay.
Our minimum is about the size of a washing machine, 5 feet tall.
Okay. All right.
It's my height.
Yeah.
I can be hauled off. So, okay. Interesting. I just learned things
Me too.
because you always just think when you say junk luggers, you just think junk. But the giving back to the community and the recyclable and the eco-friendly is all very new information. I would think that most people wouldn't know. But I'm sensing maybe something you're passionate about here, Lucy. Tell us, you just wake up one day, or maybe you did, and sit down and say, yeah, junk luggers is the right thing for me. So how did you get there? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I grew up in Atlanta, born and raised, and really have always loved the environment. So I spent my summers in Tennessee and have been around people who kind of care about the recycling, the donating, the giving back. And then worked for my dad as an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur, worked for him since I was 14 years old, had a really great work ethic. Went to college at Georgia State University and got my master's in environmental geology and geosciences.
Oh, yeah, it's a natural progression. I see it now. The connection is there.
So started working in academia in the lab as a TA, then went to work for government for a couple summers as an intern at the watershed management, worked for a utility gas company, and then I got married, had kids, and decided to stay home. So I was a 4-year stay-at-home mom. So I've really had a wide spectrum of experience in different sectors of my career. I wanted to get back to work once the pandemic hit, and I knew that, hey, I could get my old job back and work from home. Let's go. So I started to call my old boss back, and then my husband was like, what if we start our own business instead? And I knew I didn't want to do a startup. My dad, being an entrepreneur, I knew the ups and downs and the roller coaster and all of that. So I was like, let's reach out to a franchise advisor, see what's out there. And she interviewed us on our interests and skills and goals and presented us with some options. And one of the options was the Junk Luggers. I knew immediately that this was it. The mission behind what we do, giving back, keeping items from the landfill, and being that connector in the community when people don't know what to do with their stuff, because I'm the type of person that I'll go and pick something up on the side of the road and make it pretty and new again. I was really lucky to find something that I'm super passionate about to go into business, because being a business owner has its roller coasters. And so if you don't have that passion behind it, it can feel like a real big pain and get really hard at times.
I'm curious, does your husband have the same passion?
Yeah, we have in our house, we have a bin for our trash and we have a bin for our recycling. And our bin for recycling is a big trash can, whereas our trash can is probably pretty small. So we're all about, hey, whatever can be recycled, let's recycle it. He's also grew up in Atlanta. We love to volunteer and be out there in the community. So it really just, it aligned with him too. He did want to explore the other options, but I was like, no, this is it. Junkluggers is it.
I love it because you just knew instantly. It's like, that's the thing. And I can see where that would make a leap a little bit. So tell us about the adventure. So you're like, this is it. And you went in literally, right?
Yes.
Truck and all. Tell us about the adventure.
Yeah. So we actually signed on Earth Day, funny enough. So we signed.
And off the
That's
mic.
right.
He's out.
It's like Earth Day. It was like perfect timing. My kids at the time were 2.5 and 5. So that was an adventure in itself, right? 2 small children in 2021 when the pandemic was still going on. So it was scary. We had put together a great team and got our trucks delivered and got our warehouse. And so things just kind of felt lovely, like nice in place, and started connecting with our local chambers and business organizations, and really have been able to connect well with the community, and our passion kind of trickle out into, hey, there is stuff we can do with our items that we don't no longer need, and we can do it quickly, easily with Lucy's company.
What can you teach us about recycling? So people get off listening to this podcast and they're going to do something smarter for their environment.
Right. What I do at my home and I suggest other people do is get bins, right? So you get bins and you collect things as they come along, right? So those broken electronics you can throw into a bin to sort those out. All those wires that you never use anymore, put that in that electronic bin. All this weird scrap metal, so like even pots and pans that have been scratched up and stuff like that, we can recycle those. So most people
Wow.
would just throw it into the trash but they can be recycled.
But they can't be recycled in the normal recycling bin,
that's right.
Lucy. Okay. I didn't think I was crazy.
Yeah.
I honestly watched a video one time on how to recycle properly. I'm almost embarrassed to say it. Hey, I'm embarrassed to sit next to you. There you say it. Wasn't doing it right.
This is before Netflix, I'm sure.
Possibly. I could be wrong.
Okay, but I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would think this would be a recession-proof opportunity because I don't think people have less times or more times or different ecosystems where they make less trash or opportunities. But one of the things you mentioned in our brief conversation before that was interesting, I never thought about, you really talk about a very personal human side of going in and helping people with removal. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, when you are dealing with a lot of stuff, it can be overwhelming, right? So we tend to collect things, whether you're considered a hoarder or not. It's actually the statistic is 1 in 7 people have hoarding tendencies. And whether it's that closet or that guest room or the garage that you just store everything in, we all do have that. But when you're dealing with a loved one who has passed away, or a divorce happening and you're having to sell a home that was once the family home, it can be difficult. I have experience in that in my personal life and where I had to clean out loved ones' homes after they passed. And it is really difficult to go through all their stuff. So, it I understand and can relate to our customers when they're in those situations. And I typically go to those jobs with my crew so that I can help them through that process while my crew is getting to and hauling the stuff out. But it can be overwhelming. And so we're here to be the solution to help you during that process. Now, we're not going to sort from item to item, but when you are ready to let go and to do the clean out, then we're there to support you in that way.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting when she mentioned that because you just don't think about certain aspects of that.
Yeah. And you're right, Lucy. When someone feels overwhelmed, especially in a situation like you just described, the last thing they're going to do is take the time to say, what would be helpful for the environment or what should go to this type of nonprofit? And they just trash it all. So I can see it being very advantageous in that type of situation. You said your dad was an entrepreneur, so you got to see some of this from the beginning, which is great because a lot of people, they don't see two sides. They see employees and that's really it. So talk a little bit about what you learned from seeing him as a child. It sounds like growing up being an entrepreneur and then working for him.
What kind of business
Yeah,
was he
so
in?
he's a photographer. He did all kinds of photography from fashion before I was born to like Better Homes and Gardens, where he would go to people's homes and take pictures of their house and beautiful gardens. And I would go, and I was actually in one of those magazines as a child too, as the extra. So I have a copy of that.
Celebrity alert
Yeah.
right here.
And then he did wedding photography as well. While I worked for him, he had me doing his books. He had me doing the production work. He had me meeting with clients and then on the job too. So I got to see all the different aspects of the business. And it's really helped me develop my work ethic and understanding how to operate, run, and have customer service and all of the things that are required to have a successful business.
But you said you didn't really want to go just down that route. You knew already that you wanted the franchise route. So what didn't you like about what you saw?
He had to do everything from scratch. He was a workaholic. He was working all hours of the day, night. Work-life balance for him was hard. And so I wanted to have that backbone of the franchise so that I wouldn't have to sacrifice being with my family and friends and really have a life outside of work. So I knew that when I met the franchise or Junkluggers headquarters, the other franchisees, we all had the same passion to support each other, to help each other out. If any questions I had came up, I have that system to reach out to get answers. And if they don't have the answers, then we're collaborating together to find them.
Yeah. And that's such a great teamwork to have. And you've talked about having a great team yourself. Tell me, even just from the hiring process, how do you phrase this so people know your job?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do warn them.
Customer service.
Yes.
I
I do warn them properly. We're not dealing with, sometimes we go into beautiful homes, right? So we're going into beautiful homes. So we got to make sure our shoes are pristine. So we're not tracking everything everywhere. But then we're going into really tough situations too, to like not like unsanitary situations as well. Because we do bulk pickup, we do dumpster overflow. So we're dealing with trash. We run the gamut with what we're doing, from being in the yard, from removing yard debris, to demolition, where we're taking down play sets and sheds and running into all kinds of critters and things. I let them know if they are in any way, shape, or form sensitive to smells, this is not the job for them. If they're not able to do heavy lifting and hard work, then this is not the job for them. And so I really do vet them in that, let them go out with the crew to see what our day-to-day is, to see if this is something that they're actually going to be able to handle.
Yes. So talk a little bit about the culture that you've built then, or how you've built that, because you've talked highly of your team. So you've got an amazing
Yes.
one. How did you build that when the job is tough?
Yeah, when the job's tough, I'm like, hey, let's, I'm going to be out there with you, especially in these hoarding situations, or collectors, as I like to call them, or we're dealing with an abandoned house that might have mold and everything in it. Hey, this is one job. We're going to get it done. And next day, tomorrow is going to be different. And we like to have fun too, right? Everyone has a really good attitude. We're always smiling. And I'm with a bunch of guys, grew up with all brothers. We're cutting up but having a good time and tried to get through the job that there are the tough ones. Of course, no judgment, right? So none of us have any judgment for any kind of situation. We're there to be the solution and to really help that burden that someone might be going through. But my crew is just amazing. They're ready to come to work. I just couldn't do it without them, obviously. And them showing up day to day is really what makes our business run so well.
I'm still picturing the interviewing process. I'm like, what do you have, like little jars set up and say, okay,
Smell this.
smell test.
You have the best attitude that I have seen about you. Eloquently describe things that most people would be like, oh. And you're like, oh, these collectors, look at all this stuff. It's really admirable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I'm sure there's some adventures, like you said, ups and downs, and you learned a lot from your dad. But what was the one thing you go, wow, I learned that lesson, and maybe it would have been nice to have had someone go, heads up on this one. What was a big lesson curve of learning for you in your adventure?
Obviously, hire the right people. We've had bumps in the road where we've had a couple people who weren't the best drivers, right?
Drivers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here in Atlanta, we have crazy heavy traffic and everything like that. And so we've had that situation, making them get in the truck, show me what they can do, drive in the truck, right? It's important to let them know, hey, these trucks drive on a dime, or they turn on a dime, and you can't whip it around.
Not a sports car. I get it.
And we have top container trucks, so they're very large. Making sure that the truck is packed correctly, so nothing's flying out the back of the truck, is very important. Something that I learned from my dad is keep your books straight. So, make sure that you got good cash flow.
Yeah.
And that you have your books straight, because then you run into, oh no, I can't pay this person, or oh no, like a bill just hasn't been paid and the lights have turned off, kind of thing. So that's something that I'm always on top of, to make sure that, hey, every time payroll comes around, I got enough money to pay my guys.
And they appreciate it. I don't even know them. I can speak for them.
That is correct.
More important things. And I like the fact you lean into that because a lot of people don't come prepared with an accounting background or numbers, or even a lot of entrepreneurs going, I'm not good with numbers. But it doesn't matter. I always say you've got to know your numbers. It's like a scorecard. You got to know the score of the game because you're going to make plays differently and things like that. There's so many questions I can just go down this
I
road.
know. I want to hear stories all day, but I know we can't just go down that lane.
No.
I feel like Lucy's got them.
So if you were you're speaking to people that are maybe have that desire, that entrepreneur bug has bit them, but they're not sure where to go, or they're a little nervous because there's something outside their bubble, or they're in the mix of it, or somewhere in that journey. What is this wisdom you would say, okay, guys, I'm sharing this with you. This is little gems of wisdom. What would that be?
Obviously education, right? So making sure that you have either a mentor that you can go to, or there's different programs. For me, SCORE was really handy. They help and have different training materials on different items, leadership, development, always continuing to grow and educate yourself, connecting with the Chamber of Commerce in the area. They're really helpful on different aspects of business and who to connect with to help you during those times of need for resources or for guidance.
That sounds extremely helpful. Lucy, if we shadowed you for the day, what's something that we would see that would surprise us?
My day-to-day is all over the place. I have a huge territory. And then when I'm out on the job with the crew, I'll get my hands dirty too. So I tell them, hey, I wouldn't have you do anything that I wouldn't do.
Well, you're definitely hands-on. And how is it? What you being an entrepreneur, taking this journey in your family, how has that shown up in your work-life balance and with your children?
Yeah, they love it. They love coming to the warehouse. We have 2 little scooters for them here. So they come and like zip around the warehouse.
Now I might come.
Hang out with the guys. We have a pool table that we got from the job in our downtime, and we play pool. But they really love it. They know about the different kinds of recycling that you can do, and have talked about wanting to own their own business one day too.
You know, what's going to be cool is when you get to come to their school when they have parent work days or career days, right?
Yes.
Okay. My mom is Lucy from Junk
That's right.
Luggers. Wait till you see the
Yes,
truck.
yes.
So
The touch a
them.
truck, like the school does touch a truck sometimes. I'll
Yeah.
drive up with the truck because, yes, I drive the trucks too. I've been to the dump. I know how to work them. When someone does call out sick, then I'm on the truck as well. It was funny because I broke my leg in June. You can't see it, but now, but yeah.
I'll throw it out there.
But I broke my leg in June, and one day I had to get on the truck, and it was non-weight bearing still. So one of my crew had to hoist me up because it's a very high seat. He hoisted me up into the truck, and it was fine because I drive with my right foot, and it was my left leg that was broken. But yeah, it's fun times.
Yeah, I'm definitely the person you probably don't want in your truck. I would be the one that when they have the 1-800 call if they're not driving well, because I feel mighty when I'm in trucks. Or move out of my way.
She's running stuff over.
I have to be back in the warehouse with the scooters. Yeah. Heard. Listen, it has been an absolute pleasure to visit with you. We're so excited, not only just the impact of something which is just totally off our radar, all the different things you do in the level of care and the give back in the community that Junkluggers and you specifically, Lucy, do in the community. So thank you again for being with us and sharing your story, your tidbits, and a little bit about a brand that I wasn't aware of, opportunities there. But as we wrap up, is there anything that you want to close out or share with our audience?
Yeah, so for the holidays, we're doing a great drive. So I work with lots of nonprofits that need different kinds of items for the Christmas and holiday season. We're looking for people to donate toys and coats. And the coats can be used, gently worn. We do ask that the toys that you donate be new and unwrapped. But yeah, we're doing that for the holidays, and we're excited to be able to give back to the nonprofits that we work with.
Absolutely. We want to make sure they get the right information. Is this something the company as a whole doing? Are you in the Atlanta area? Because we have national
Oh, I see. No,
audience.
in the Atlanta
So
area, I'm putting this drive together.
All right. Okay. So specifically for that in the Atlanta area, we'll make sure that they have a direct link to be able to make that happen
Hey,
and a good cause.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Elizabeth, when you're building a franchise or a business, staying connected in real time with your customers isn't an option anymore. It's survival.
Yeah, it's a different game now. And that's why we're proud to be partnered with IU Connect with the Built4Profit podcast, because they bring AI solutions to businesses and just connect the consumer in a seamless manner.
Yeah, from streamlined call centers to interactive engagement tools to interactive website. Ayuda Connect brings you next level resources to help you grow your business faster.
And they've got a really great offer for our guests. So if you go to iudaconnect.com and mention that Built4Profit sent you, you can get either a new website or a redesign, whichever one you need, valued at $3,000 when you bring your services to IUDA Connect. So iudaconnect.com, check it out, and we'll see you in the next episode.